Hi Aries, welcome to January and Happy New Year. January 2020. This is Teresa from Tarot-Waite. And before I get started on your reading, I want to call in some good energy. And so this month we have a full moon in Cancer and a new moon that's on the 10th. Uranus goes direct on the 11th, and then we have Saturn conjunct Pluto on the 12th. And then there's a new moon in Aquarius on the 24th. I think that's the 24th. Let's see. Yeah, on the 24th. Okay, so let's see what's coming up for Aries for January in terms of love and relationship. This is going to be a powerful month. I can just tell you, we just came off the full moon eclipse, or the new moon eclipse around Christmas, and moving into this with all that Saturn energy. We have all this Capricorn energy, and especially with Saturn coming together with Pluto, there's going to be some major changes happening this month and in the coming months. I mean, I don't think it's going to be just a one-day thing, especially with the eclipse. We're going to be dealing with Capricorn energy for the next 6 months at least. So let's see what's coming up with Aries. What is coming up for Aries in terms of love and relationship for the month of January 2020? A new decade. What does Aries need to know about love and relationships for 2020? The Hierophant, the Temperance, the Seven of Swords, the Death card, the Two of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so you start with the Hierophant card. You have a lot of major arcana in this card, in this reading. The Hierophant crossed by the Temperance. So the Hierophant, this is a card of sharing your wisdom, being, it's a card of orthodox teachings. It's a card of institutions that have been around for a long time. So, and it's also the card, it actually relates to the sign of Taurus too, for some reason. But this is a card of something that, or someone that is very stubborn and is very strict in their ways, and they're not open to change. So some of you could be dealing with someone like this, someone who is either a job situation where you feel like, I'm trying to make changes, but I'm dealing with these people that are just not wanting to budge. They're just wanting to do the same thing that they've done for a long time, and they're not open to the new. And this could be a person in your life. So if you're in a relationship, you could be dealing with someone that is not open to change, that is just clinging to their beliefs, not willing to compromise. And this could even be you, since it's the first card. You have to question yourself. Have you been stubborn in a situation, in a relationship? Have you been unwilling to meet the other person halfway? Have you been insisting on your way and there is no highway? Because the Hierophant represents stability, but sometimes if it's too much, it could represent stuckness, or not willing to budge, not willing to move, not willing to be open to new ideas. And with the Temperance card here, this is a card of balance, trying to find the balance of between opposing sides. So it's possible that you're involved in some type of power struggle in a relationship between what you believe and what the other person believes, because this is a card about wisdom and beliefs. And maybe this month you need to come to some type of middle ground or negotiation in a relationship situation, where you have to try and force yourself to see things from the other person's perspective. So if you're being rigid in a situation, this is the month where you need to be more flexible. If you're dealing with someone else who is being rigid, there may be some problems in the relationship because something's got to give. This month, things are going to reach critical mass. And so you have to find a way out. You have to be flexible because you know what they say, whatever doesn't bend will break. So if you can't be flexible, you may wind up having to make some tough decisions about a relationship. But basically the Temperance card, though, it's a card of compatibility. So the two things, even though you're very different, you can find a middle ground. There is a possibility. That's the way out of this stuckness, the way out of any kind of situation that feels like it's just like you're standing in cement and you can't break free. The way out is through compromise and creating some type of win-win or meeting someone in the middle. And also following your intuition, because this is a card of the Archangel Michael. Like you're being guided. So if you quiet your mind and meditate and listen to the guidance that's coming, it will lead you out of this ultra-conservative environment or where your belief systems are too rigid, or so you're dealing with something. It could even be, if it's in a job situation, you're dealing with authority figures that are rigid and they're not willing to compromise or not willing to see things other than where they've been. Because all this Capricorn energy is about the old way of doing things. Something, it's about following tradition, wanting to do the right thing, caring what other people think, and not really wanting to give up those strong beliefs or those strong whatever you're holding on to. So there could be some power struggles in January, and that's going to be true for everyone. And when we get into the astrology, I'll tell you what areas of your life will have that power struggle. But in a relationship, the key to remember here is to compromise. Try to see things from the other side, from the other person's perspective. Don't be rigid. Try to work out some type of agreement, negotiation, and you'll be okay. Now, in the past, you have the Seven of Swords and the Death card. So, this is a card of sneaky energy, or someone who's not being honest. So, and this could also be a card of feeling used, feeling victimized. Maybe you feel... So, and this could work either way. Either you're in a relationship and you feel like the person you're involved with is not being honest with you, saying one thing to your face, but then doing something behind your back. Or someone's trying to take something from you. You may feel like someone's taking credit for the work you do, someone's trying to steal something from you. Either, maybe someone's even trying to break your relationship apart in some way. So, it also represents, so for some of you it could be one of those scenarios. But it also can represent you not wanting to face the truth about something, some issue. So if you're sweeping things under the rug and ignoring things that need to be faced, this is the month you're going to have to face them. Because with all this Saturn, Capricorn energy, Saturn conjunct Pluto, it's time to wake up and see the reality in your situation. And if something has been too restrictive in your life, this whole Saturn-Pluto thing, it's about power, it's about struggles with authority, who's in control, power struggles, where am I being restricted, where am I being too rigid, what do I need to break free from? And it could be a relationship, it could also be an attitude or a behavior. So with the Death card here in the recent past, this is a card of transformation. Things are changing. An old way of doing things is on its way out. That's what all this energy, this whole Pluto, Capricorn, Saturn energy, it's saying that it's time for change. It's time to think outside the box and break free from patterns that are no longer working. And with the Death card, some cycle is coming to an end. And you have to clear out the past. You have to clear out, because as we move into the future, you can't be moving into the future or into a better future if you're still carrying baggage from the past. So it's really important that you take time out to face reality in a relationship. What's real? And that doesn't mean placing blame. It means that it takes two to tango. What role am I playing in a relationship? So if there's some type of power struggle going on, or something that you're not facing, it's time to look at it realistically and see how you are contributing to some of the problems and how your behavior can change, or or if you change your behavior, how you can change also the outcome. So if you're holding on to past patterns and past behaviors that need to go, maybe because you have a sense of, obligation, I want to do the right thing, or I want to do what's expected of me, but you're not being true to yourself. That's not going to fly anymore. So you have to take a realistic look at how you're interacting and make some changes. The Death card is about change. Something has to give, something has to change. You have to admit that something is over, that a cycle is completing, and you have to say, okay, what's next? And how can I release the past, whatever's no longer serving me? And how can I change my perception, my beliefs, my behavior, so that I can work with this energy to make something better, to create something new that's more in line with who I am and what I need. So that's how this energy is going. Now coming up here, you have the Two of Wands coming up into the future. That's a card where you're contemplating a partnership. And you're not sure where it's going to go. You have the potential to partner with someone. There's even an Ace of Cups here, a new beginning in love. But you see this person, he's still facing the past. You're trying to create something in the future, but you still have a foot in the past. And you have a fear of this new love because you don't want to let go of the past. So, and you have been through some stuff. You have this Queen of Swords here. So it could be, the Queen of Swords energy could be an older person, someone where there's an age difference. An air sign, and you have the Queen of Pentacles, that could be an earth sign. You could be dealing with an air and earth, two different people. The Queen could also represent you using your logic mind and not your heart to make a decision. Like trying to see things realistically, trying to make decisions based on logic. Having to communicate in a way that leaves emotion out of it. But it also, sometimes the Queen of Swords can have walls built up around her because of whatever she's been through in the past. And this could be male or female. So if you've been building walls that keep people away, if you've been stuck on something from the past that needs to be released, it's time to release that and free yourself from that baggage and free yourself so that you can turn around and see what's coming up in the future. You've got this potential for love that's coming up in the future. But you're not going to claim it unless you release the fear and release the past. the Page of Pentacles. This is a card of the student. Being open to the new, learning new skills. So in your environment, there could be a new beginning where you need to be more open, be more flexible. I feel like you're being too rigid, clinging to something that has it's past its shelf life. It needs to be let go. And really what you want, you have the Emperor here. This is in your wish fulfillment. You want to build something solid and stable. And you're prepared to do the work. Because this is a card of someone who's organized, who has a plan, who wants to build something. If you're in a relationship and you're not getting this Emperor energy out of it, maybe it needs to be let go. For some of you, you could be meeting someone new that fits this description of the Emperor. Someone who offers security, stability, discipline. Now, the Emperor can sometimes be, this is the card of the executive, the boss, the person, the entrepreneur, the person who knows how to build something solid and steady by taking responsibility, by stepping into their power, and not power over others, but to be empowered, to feel like I can do this. So you could be connecting with someone like this, or you need to tap into that energy within yourself to manifest the relationship you want, the success that you want, the stability that you want. Here's this Queen of Pentacles. She's contemplating, she's looking at what she has, her possessions. She's concerned about financial security. Maybe you're concerned about, if you're worried about leaving a relationship, some of you, there could be some financial, you might be stuck with someone because of financial reasons. Or you're worried about, how can I create more financial security? This is also a card of feeling, it's a card of someone who's very talented, but they may not always have faith in their talent. They may doubt their abilities, but you have the ability to manifest. You have a lot of potential forming in January. You just need to learn from the past, release it, realize that something is ending, and you have to let it go so that you can make room for this new beginning. Now, the Ace of Cups, as a time card, this relates to the months of June, July, August. So, start now, developing a plan, working on being more flexible, working on releasing, working on seeing the reality, and start to prepare for, because you have a new beginning that's going to be coming this year. And you don't want to fall into the pitfalls of fear or being stuck in a situation that you're afraid to move out of. It's time to be the Emperor in your own life and take charge and make sure that you're building something solid and steady, because you have that potential. So let's see what the astrology is saying. So there's full moon in Cancer. Now this is an interesting full moon, because the moon in Cancer is being opposed by 5 planets in Capricorn. 4, actually. Well, 4 major ones. The Sun, Mercury, Saturn, Pluto. And during this time, right around this time, Saturn and Pluto come together. So, and this is all happening in your 10th house. The full moon is happening in your 4th house. So something that has to do, so there could be work-life balance issues where you could be, the 10th house energy, you have the potential. You're in the public eye in this month. You're stepping into your power, you're being offered a position of power, or for those, sometimes when Saturn and Pluto are in the 10th house, you could really achieve a major goal. If you've been working hard and you've been really doing the work and dedicating yourself to a plan, it can mean you're achieving this position of power. If you haven't, though, if you've been taking shortcuts, if you've been not doing what you're supposed to, it could mean a fall from grace. So it really is up to you and how you've been preparing all this time. Uranus is in your second house. Uranus goes direct January 11th, the day after this full moon. Now, the full moon brings things to light. It's bringing things to your awareness. It's time to see, do I need more work-life balance? Have I been spending too much time working and not enough time on family? How am I being nurtured? The full moon in Cancer, it's very emotional. It could be an emotional time. Because if you're seeing the reality of something and you don't like what you see, it could be very sad because you have to let go. Cancer likes to hold on. You may have to let go of something at this time. Or you may have to admit certain things that are difficult. Because with Mercury in Capricorn, you could be feeling a little cynical. We're all doing this. About your career prospects, about your status in the world. You may feel like everything is a struggle. It's a struggle to get ahead. But really, the thing is not to give up. The thing is you can achieve something. You just have to be prepared to do the work. You have to be prepared to make the commitment. And through that commitment, and through seeing, having a realistic plan, and being able to communicate, you can then achieve something of greatness. Mars is in your 9th house, so you might be thinking about maybe traveling or going back to school. Maybe you need to learn some new skills so that you can advance in your career. Uranus in the 2nd house. Uranus is going to be shifting your finances. There could be some financial, like feast or famine moments. Some days you have enough money, money comes in and goes quickly. You could decide to work for yourself when Uranus is in the 2nd house. Now, Uranus is trining Jupiter in Capricorn. Jupiter in the 10th house is at the early degrees. It just moved into Capricorn. So Jupiter is bringing you luck and an opportunity. And it could be sudden. You could have some kind of sudden opportunity that you have to make a quick decision. And it could change your financial situation one way or another. But because it's all Capricorn energy, it's going to involve work. It's not going to be an easy thing. It's not going to be something that, just comes and it's like dropped in your lap. You're going to have to take action. You're going to have to do something. Especially since Capricorn is squaring the Aries energy. So it's kind of like, it creates tension. It's not an easy transition. You can still profit by it, but it's going to be a little bit more tense. Jupiter is conjuncting the South Node in Capricorn. And the North Node is in your 4th house. So what is the North Node in Cancer in your 4th house telling you? You may have been so focused on career and getting ahead that you've neglected family and creating a home, a stable home life for yourself. So you may have to devote some energy to creating that sanctuary. Where am I feeling nurtured? Is my relationship giving me what I need? You're going to be revisiting your childhood around this time and seeing what do I need to create that can bring more, connect me with family. And you might be thinking about those things around this full moon. And what do I need to release? What behavior or pattern or habit or belief system, what has been blocking me from connecting with a nurturing environment, with a nurturing relationship? Connecting where I feel that I'm connecting with my tribe, my soul tribe. So these are some of the issues. And when Uranus goes direct, if you feel like you've been blocked in some type of financial situation, things should start moving. And then, after Uranus goes direct, we're going to have a month or two of all the planets going direct. So now's a good time to think about where you want to go and put some energy toward getting there. You have a new moon in Aquarius. And this is in your 11th house. This is the house of hopes and dreams on the 24th. And this new moon can help you achieve a goal. Now, it is squaring Uranus, so there could be some unexpected developments that cause you to make a new beginning. You have to, and you have Venus conjunct Neptune, because Uranus in the 2nd house is squaring this new moon. The good thing is it's a separating aspect, so it won't be too volatile. But you have to consider, with Uranus, with any new beginning, how is that going to affect your security? How is that going to affect your finances? Jupiter, Jupiter's in Capricorn. Venus and is conjunct Neptune at this new moon. It's moving toward a conjunction with Neptune in your 12th house. So you may have secret feelings for someone, or you may be feeling, especially with Neptune in the 12th, you may feel like being a hermit, like meditating, not socializing. If you have feelings for someone, you may not know how to express the feelings that you have. Like I said again, Mars is in the 9th house. It's sextile Mercury in the 11th house. So it's time to talk. It's time for you to communicate. With Mars in the 9th house, I feel like some of you may feel like you want to move. You want to travel. You may be thinking about going back to school, learning new skills. You might be thinking either teaching or learning or connecting with someone that can change your beliefs in some way. And Mercury in the 11th house, Mercury rules your communication style, but it rules thinking, your thoughts. So your thinking is changing. You may start to realize that you've been too rigid in the way that you're approaching things, and you have to change. You're getting new ideas about how to achieve a goal or a dream. And you may be learning how to communicate in a better way. You might even be joining new groups, meeting new friends that are helping. Sometimes the 11th house is joining a group that helps the world in some way. So that could help it can help you have a little bit more hope. It help you you might be starting something new, maybe joining a group or starting something that's going to, like a new beginning, that's going to bring more friends to your life, that's going to feel that you're achieving something. But the overall energy with this new moon in Aquarius is whatever you're starting at this time, it can't be a purely selfish beginning. It has to involve others, because Aquarius is about group energy. So you might need to, because Aries is kind of like the lone wolf. You like to travel alone. You're very independent. But you may have to give up some of that independence for the greater cause or the greater goal, and learn how to work with people. Again, we have this compromise. Learning how to balance your needs with the needs of others. Learning how to find that balance. But you have the potential for new love. You have the potential for knowledge, new beliefs, changing your belief system, being exposed to other cultures, creating something solid and steady that also brings in more stability in your life. Because Uranus is wanting to free you from the way that you earn money. It's like financial freedom. And in the process, it's going to take you out of your comfort zone a little bit. But the end result will be that you'll be doing work that's more authentic. You'll be connecting with others in a more authentic way. As long as you stop avoiding the truth and release the past and be willing to make some changes, you can create something really amazing. Something that brings you recognition in the world.